why do my children not listen to me? We get this question constantly in lives about why children are not listening to us when we ask them to do things. Why some of the reasons may be. So reason number one is, have they actually heard what we're asking them to do? So for a lot of our children, they have sensory issues going on anyway. Are you asking them in a busy environment? Are you getting down to their level? Are you making sure that they have heard first what you're asking of them? I know in classrooms and things, sometimes teachers can ask children to do things and it's busy and all the other children are speaking, and our children can't always tune out background noise and listen to what it is that you are asking them to do. Reason number two, have you given your child long enough to digest the information and understand what you're asking of them?
You always say that.
So, it's an important one, Bae. So we use a lot of visual aids in our house so that they reinforce what it is that is being asked of our children. So we're not just relying on the verbal, because if you give a verbal instruction, it can get lost very quickly, and they haven't had time to understand it or digest it. So with a visual aid, you can back up the verbal, or you can just use a visual aid, and then your child can keep coming back and checking in on that visual aid. It's a consistent thing that they can check in on. Are our children struggling with transitions? So they may be doing something already when we ask them to do what we want them to do. So that is a transition. You're asking them to stop doing what it is that they're doing and transition to what you are asking them to do. So some children, especially neurodivergent children, find transitions extremely hard. I remember I saw a visual, this was years ago now when I was learning about this with my youngest, that was talking about when a neurodivergent child or individual is doing a task, it's like they have lots of little wires that go into their brain, where they're really focusing on whatever it is. So maybe they're watching a YouTube video, maybe they're reading a book, and they're really focused on what it is that they're doing. And then if you ask them to do something else and you don't give them time to transition, it's like pulling that out all of a sudden, and it's really painful for them to do, because it so comes out of nowhere, it's overwhelming, and they just can't do it. They can't switch off and just start doing something else. So we have to be pre-warning our children that transition is coming. So maybe if we know that we need to go out in a minute and we're going to ask them to put their shoes on, we just make sure that we have told them 10 minutes, then we're going to put our shoes on, 5 minutes, then we're going to put our shoes on, so that when we are asking them to do something, we aren't actually setting them up to fail because we haven't given them any pre-warning. We need to make sure we're warning them what is coming up next. Another really good tool for that is our now and next boards. So you can put on there what they're doing now. So say if they're on their tablet, and then next we're going to put our shoes and coat on, so that they already know what you're going to ask of them next. That helps them transition. Amazing. Thank you so much. I hope that is helpful, and we will continue to do videos for any questions that we get asked.
So why don't you just add like a 10-minute thing, just add a 10 into there? It's just because you should, like, if you have an answer, 10 things are an answer on 5 or more minutes.
Like timers?
Of course.
Yeah, what, so that you're pre-warning?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You have a visual timer, don't you, with your tutor that counts down the time, so you know exactly when your time's going to be up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, sometimes it's a bit of a shock if all of a sudden they just say, that's it, finished, and you weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea. Peace.